This lady just kind of started talking to me. She's really sweet.
All right, so I'm heading off to another adventure. After my deep and profound lessons that I learned in my previous week in good ol' Nam, you know, I was just feeling ready to take on life like I could tackle anything. I feel like I had the strength of Hercules, to be honest, or like I was made out of steel. Like, let's frickin' go, man. Okay, so I was yearning for a new adventure that would ignite my soul. And that's when I decided to head to the majestic mountains of northern Vietnam, to the picturesque town of Sapa. Why the mountains, you ask? Well, there's something about being surrounded by nature's grandeur that just speaks to me. The allure of Sapa lies in its breathtaking hillsides, lush rice terraces, serene mountain atmosphere, and indigenous groups that whispers tales of a simpler life. And if there's something else that I'm learning about myself, it's that I love nature. It honestly just brings me a lot of peace and happiness. I knew this was the perfect place to reconnect with myself and embrace the beauty of life in its most raw and authentic form. Sapa was calling my name, and I knew I had to go.
Morning, everyone. Today I'm going to be heading over to Sapa. It is about a 6-hour drive away though, so I'm actually checking out of my hotel. I'm staying here in Hanoi and I'm heading to a bus stop. So with that, time to check out of where I'm staying. I don't want to be late.
So to start off the story, I headed on to a 6-hour bus ride from Hanoi, which would take me to Sapa, and it was very early. I'm not an early bird.
It's now like 6:52 a.m. I could definitely sleep more.
Thankfully, I was able to lay out on the bus and just mummify myself.
I basically always put my blanket completely over my head like this.
This is something that I do. It's kind of funny, but I swear I sleep like a baby when I do this. Highly recommend. Then I woke up for a rest stop and kind of had like this staring competition with the guy outside of the bus.
I can see out the window in front of me. There's like a guy just like staring, and I'm like staring back, but I don't think you can see me. Staring competition.
So fast forward 6 whole hours later on the bus, I arrived in Sapa. I felt like a groggy mess after my sweet slumber, but you know what? I made it.
How tired do I look right now? Oh my wow. Okay, well we made it. Alright guys, I finally arrived here in Sapa. First impression, Sapa looks really cute. It definitely feels like a lot smaller, a little bit more local. We are in the mountains, so I'm really excited for that.
First things first, I fueled myself because a girl's gotta eat. Very important. Then I finished eating and walked through the town to get to Cat Village, and along the way, this lady just kind of joined me in walking.
This lady just kind of started talking to me. She's really sweet. What's your name?
Yang.
Yang. Yeah, she's a local here, yeah?
Yeah, local.
What do you do here in Sapa? Oh, you sell your bags, yeah.
My first local interaction. She was really sweet. I could tell the people here were really friendly. As we walked, I stopped to admire the mountains, which I did a lot of in this video because it was just super beautiful. Oh, and this is the guide who was taking me around into the villages. We stopped to admire the mountainside even more, and this was actually my favorite shot. It was just so cool looking down at the rice terraces like this. It was like, wow, mountains and more mountains.
It's so pretty here. I really love nature. Just natural beauty is just so nice.
But can you blame me? Honestly, it was stunning.
I think that Sapa is already like my favorite thing so far on this trip to Vietnam. It's just so unique when you get to visit different villages.
The video probably doesn't do it justice. You just have to see it in person.
So over there they have the Cat, which is what this village is named after.
Oh my gosh, there was also this doggo here, which was kind of adorable. I love dogs so much, and this doggo was such a sweetie pie. Honestly, I could not handle it. So cute. Okay, so one of the highlights of the day was witnessing the Hmong people make their traditional clothing. Hearing our guide share the cultural background, skill, and artistry really captivated me.
So the color we're using just for dyeing fabric. So the color comes from the plant we call indigo. Just a few minutes, my hand is changed and the color so strong. So every family, they have to planting their own plant to make their own color. This is the fiber from the tree. And this we're using to boiling the water. One room inside here and another room here. And one room here.
So basically what our guide was describing is that the people that live in this village are called the Black Hmong, and so that is because of what they wear, the kind of clothing that they wear, and it takes them over 6 months just to make the clothing, and they make it all by hand, and then they dye it many times with the indigo to turn it black. Okay, so this is the second step of the clothing making process. It takes her 2 to 3 days depending on how much string she makes, but what she's wearing right here, that's the traditional clothing of the Hmong people.
We have to boil it with the ash to get the white color like this. Put on the top like this, and then they stand it on the top to make like this, you know.
And then this is the last step, which is what the lady that we saw earlier is doing, and then they dye it. So cool. This lady is so cute. You want to say hello? Hello! Your designs are beautiful. Aw, she's so cute.
Then I watched a cultural dance performance.
Okay, everyone, so the cultural performance is now beginning.
This was awesome. I really felt Vietnam's culture at that moment. They even had these bamboo sticks to do a dance in, and I was all in for this.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a go. Who's gonna record for me?
I mean, look at me go. I kind of crushed it. In all honesty, the first day was pretty cool. It felt very authentic, and I loved taking in all of the nature and culture around me and learning from our local guide. Okay, so the second day, we got to explore 3 villages in Sapa.
All right, guys, so we're now currently heading to our first village of the day. What our guide was saying is they have like big lands, big plots of lands that they have as their homes.
It was very peaceful and serene. The rice terraces seemed to stretch on forever. Trekking through this simple life was very rejuvenating.
It's definitely a lot cooler here on this walk here underneath all of the greenery. Makes it a lot more enjoyable. Honestly, the rice terraces here just in Sapa are just absolutely breathtaking.
And there I was, trekking through the breathtaking mountains of Sapa, feeling like a true adventurer with thrill in my heart. But then, the universe decided to test my trekking skills.
I have the sweetest little girl guiding us over to the village. I believe is a part of the village. And she's like helping me if I'm like slipping a little bit.
I found myself falling straight on my butt into the mud.
Oh my god, just like that.
I must have looked like a human mudslide. I think I slid down gracefully though, so I'm gonna give myself that. But in moments like these, you just kind of gotta laugh it off and just keep going.
Just look at these terraces from up close. The ones that I visited in Bali were like for tourism, I feel like, but these are completely natural. And what's really cool about here in Sapa is like it's extremely mountainous, and the way that they've made the rice terraces with the flow of the mountains is just so neat. So everything that we've been passing through has been Ilingho village, and we're just at a quick rest stop here right now, but right in front of us there's a lot more houses condensed, I suppose, is more of like the central area. So we are now heading to the Lao Chai village. Basically each village harvests their own rice, and they don't harvest it to particularly sell it, but they harvest it to feed their family. And what I was learning is that how big of a size your land is basically dependent on how big of a size that your family is. And the plots of land kind of get passed down from generation to generation. It's only the guys or men that can have the land. So if a family doesn't have a son, they have to keep having children until they finally have a boy, so they can pass down the land to him. So if you guys can see over there, there's like a bridge. So we're gonna cross the bridge and we're gonna get to the second village, Lao Chai. This is technically Lao Chai as well, but that's gonna be the center of Lao Chai over there. So something else I was just learning is basically for children, for their schooling, they have schooling for free up until about 15 years old, and then from 16 to 18 for high school. A lot of them will either not go to school, or if the family has money to pay for them to go to school, then they'll go to school. But that's also another reason why a lot of them get married very young. So probably around like 15, 16 years old, they're already getting married and starting families. But anyways, yeah, this is definitely some of the most breathtaking views I've ever seen. It's just incredible also just how healing that nature is, just being in this space here. I'm just feeling so much more at peace and at ease. It's just so nice. Hello. And and I have never been to Switzerland, but I have watched a video where some people were kind of comparing Sapa here to Switzerland, just by like the natural beauty and mountains that you're surrounded by. It's really nice. Over there, there's just a house surrounded by all the rice fields. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a ton of kids swimming down there. So we are now leaving this village here and heading off to our third and last village here in Sapa. And all of these houses here, these are all a part of the second village. These are incense made from the villagers here. Oh, whoa.
Incense, this one the bamboo.
It's big. It's made from cinnamon and cardamom. Where we're walking through right now, this is the center of the Tavan village. So there's a lot of houses here, but a lot less rice fields because there's a lot of houses. As I'm walking by, there's people setting up shops.
Then I left the villages and headed to Fenispun Mountain, which is the highest peak in Vietnam.
Okay, this is a cute little town area. I have to get up the cable car now. I hope I'm walking up to the right place. Okay, I found the cable car.
I felt excited, but also a little bit of nerves. I'm not usually afraid of heights, but we were very high up, okay?
I'm kind of scared. Oh my gosh.
As I ascended though, the view got more and more epic. It felt like I was floating among the clouds. Once I got there, it was super foggy. It was kind of mystical, to be honest. Look at all of that fog.
I just got off of the cable car and it is a lot chillier up here. Like we're way higher up. Oh my gosh, it's cold. Gotta see all of this fog here. Oh my gosh, it's so cold. I think I'm supposed to walk up there, but this is really cool. It kind of feels very medieval almost. There's about 100 or so steps to walk up from here.
Those steps I climbed, I'm practically a stairmaster too.
I like how they tell me how many steps places are going to be. I feel like I have a good indicator of how long things will take me now because this is 100 steps. Mount Batur in Kuala Lumpur was like 350. One at Halong Bay was like 450 or so. Look at that, I'm already at the top. I love this spot a lot. If you get the chance to go up the cable car and come up here, 10 out of 10 recommend. I feel like I've transported in time, but I don't have too much time up here. I have to head back down now, so someone's waving at me. Hello? You want to say hello?
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 Then I got back on the cable car and I was alone.
I have my cable car to myself this time. When I was going up, there was actually a group of people, but now I have this cable car to myself. It's nice, but it's kind of nice also having people because it's like, what if everything will go well, you know what I mean? Anyways, we're not gonna talk about that. We're heading down now.
And you know what? Honestly, it was fine. I'm not afraid of heights, but I was a tad nervous, but it was chill. I made it back.
Made it back. Ayo. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, really cool.
Overall, my time in Sapa was really nice. All things aside, this was personally my favorite part of Vietnam. I felt so much appreciation for the mountains, nature, and the simplicity of life here, which is very different from my own. There's so many ways to live this life, and if there's anything I took away after visiting Sapa, it's being able to appreciate all of the ways of life that people live. Also, the more time that I spend alone, the more that I grow to really love my alone time. It can be super chill, rejuvenating, and sometimes just necessary. And solo travel in particular is a great way of putting life into perspective. We spend so much of our lives working solo or handling daily tasks on our own, so don't feel afraid to do anything alone. Take chances when you get the opportunity to, and never stop working towards your dreams. Anything is possible, and don't forget to have fun while you're at it, and keep learning, growing, discovering what's important to you, dreaming, and doing. Love you lots, my friends.